The rain-slicked streets of Chicago's South Side gleamed under the sodium lamps like a promise of absolution that never came. Alex Harper, 17 and trembling, pushed open the heavy door of the precinct, his split lip throbbing with every heartbeat, the metallic tang of blood mixing with the downpour's chill on his tongue. He had run 3 blocks from the alley where they had cornered him, 3 shadows spitting slurs like venom, their fists landing like judgments. Because silence wasn't an option anymore, not after the way his world had cracked open last summer when he finally whispered his truth to the mirror. Inside, the air hung thick with stale coffee and unspoken regrets, fluorescent lights buzzing like angry hornets overhead. Alex approached the desk sergeant, a burly man with a mustache that curled like a sneer, his uniform starched to the point of cruelty. "I need to report an assault," Alex said, voice steady despite the quake in his knees, pulling out his phone to show the blurry photo he'd snapped of the graffiti on the wall they'd shoved him against. FAG, scrawled in red spray paint that matched the welts blooming on his ribs. The sergeant leaned back, eyes narrowing as he took in Alex's damp clothes, the rainbow pin glinting faintly on his backpack strap, a small rebellion he'd worn since Pride, since the day his best friend Jamie had kissed him under the Ferris wheel at Navy Pier, soft and tentative, like the first crack in a dam. "Assault, huh? You got names? Descriptions?" The man's tone was flat, but there was an edge, a flicker in his gaze that made Alex's stomach twist. 3 guys, maybe college age. One had a tattoo on his neck, a snake. They said things. Called me. Alex swallowed, the words sticking like glass. It was a hate crime. "I'm gay. That's why." A chuckle rippled from the corner, where 2 officers lounged by the vending machine, their radios crackling with static. "Hate crime? Kid, sounds like you were in the wrong place, wrong vibe." The younger one, with a buzz cut and a smirk that didn't reach his eyes, sauntered over. "What cruising alleys now? We see your type all the time. Dramatics for attention." Alex's face burned, the room shrinking as their laughter swelled, bouncing off the tiled walls like shrapnel. He gripped the counter, knuckles white, memories flooding in. His mom's hesitant hug when he came out, her whispering, "I love you, but this world's not kind." His dad's absence, a ghost since the divorce, leaving only echoes of "man up" in old voicemails. And Jamie, God, Jamie, whose texts had gone unanswered tonight because Alex had wanted to clear his head, to prove he could walk these streets alone without fear. Now, here he was, reduced to a punchline in a Badge's joke book. "Look, just take the report," Alex pleaded, voice cracking like thin ice. "I have rights. This is rights." Buzz Cut snorted, flipping through a stack of forms without looking up. "Save the speech for the parade, princess. File it online if you're that desperate for a story." The sergeant's pen scratched idly, not on paper, but on a napkin, doodling what looked like a limp wrist. More laughter, sharper now, slicing through the din of ringing phones and shuffling feet. Alex's vision blurred, not from tears, he wouldn't give them that, but from the raw ache of invisibility, the way his truth twisted into their amusement. He thought of his uncle, Elias Harper, the man who'd raised him summers in that big house by Lake Michigan, the one who'd traded a gavel for quiet wisdom after retiring from the bench. But Elias was hours away in the suburbs, and this was Alex's fight. Then, the door swung open again, admitting a gust of rain-scented wind. Footsteps, measured and unhurried, cut through the noise like a blade through silk. The laughter faltered, dying into coughs and averted eyes as a tall figure in a wool overcoat stepped forward, water beading on his silver hair like unshed tears. Uncle Elias, face carved from granite, eyes dark pools of restrained fury, said nothing at first, just stood there, presence filling the room like a verdict unspoken. The sergeant straightened, color draining from his face. "Judge Harper? Sir, what brings?" Elias raised a hand, silencing him, then turned to Alex, his gaze softening for a split second, a nephew's anchor in the storm. "My nephew is here to report a crime," he said, voice low thunder. "You will take every detail. You will investigate. And if I hear one more word of disrespect, I'll ensure your next shift is auditing parking tickets in a snowstorm." The room froze, the officers shrinking back as Elias pulled out his phone, already dialing the captain's line. Alex exhaled, the weight lifting just enough to breathe, but beneath it churned a deeper fear, not of the attackers outside, but of the betrayal within these walls, the system meant to protect now wielding mockery like a weapon. As Elias guided him to a quieter desk, murmuring, "You're safe now, kiddo." Alex wondered if safety was a lie they all told themselves, or if this was the spark that would burn it all down. In the hours that followed, the precinct transformed under Elias's shadow. Statements were typed with trembling fingers, photos uploaded to evidence logs, promises of follow-up scrawled in hasty notes. But Alex's mind raced ahead, replaying the alley. The first shove, the slurs escalating from whispers to roars, the way one attacker had paused, almost hesitant, before the others egged him on. Was it random, or had they known him? Seen him with Jamie at the coffee shop, hands brushing under the table, that stolen moment of normalcy? By dawn, as Elias drove him home through streets awakening to gray light, Alex stared out at the passing brownstones, the city's pulse thrumming with secrets. "Why'd you come?" he asked finally, voice small. Elias glanced over, hands steady on the wheel. "Your mom called me frantic, said you weren't answering." Instinct, Alex. Family's the only court that matters sometimes. Home was a modest walk-up in Hyde Park, where his mom, Lena, waited with coffee and worry lines etched deeper than yesterday. She enveloped him in a hug that smelled of lavender and fear, whispering apologies for working late, for not being there. "Those bastards," she muttered, dabbing his lip with ointment. "We'll get them. Elias will make sure." But as Alex lay in bed that afternoon, phone buzzing with Jamie's worried texts, "Where are you? Call me, please." He felt the fracture widen. Jamie, with his easy laugh and artist's hands, the boy who'd taught him that love could be a quiet rebellion. They'd met in art class last fall, bonding over sketches of hidden worlds, and when Jamie confessed his own queerness over late-night pizza, it felt like coming home. Yet now, doubt crept in. What if reporting this pulled Jamie into the crossfire? What if their fragile world shattered under the weight of stares and whispers? School the next day was a minefield. Lincoln High buzzed with the usual chaos, lockers slamming, gossip swirling like smoke. But Alex moved through it like a ghost, hoodie pulled low. His friends, a tight-knit crew of misfits including trans girl Riley and non-binary Theo, cornered him in the cafeteria. "Heard you got jumped," Riley said, her voice fierce under dyed blue hair. "Cops blow it off." "Worse," Alex muttered, poking at his untouched sandwich. "Mocked me, like it was my fault for existing." Theo's eyes flashed, fists clenching. "We sue their asses. Or protest. Make noise." But noise was what Alex feared most. He thought of his dad, the conservative engineer who'd bailed after the divorce, sending checks but no cards. His last email occurred, "Be careful out there, son." Careful. As if queerness was a phase to outgrow, not a fire to stoke. That evening, Jamie showed up at his window like a scene from their dreams, climbing the fire escape with a sketchpad under his arm. "You scared me," he said, slipping inside, their hug lingering too long, breaths sinking in the dim room. Jamie's dark curls tickled Alex's cheek, his scent of charcoal and Raina balm. "Tell me everything." Over whispered words and shared glances, Alex spilled it. The alley, the precinct, Elias's entrance like a deus ex machina. Jamie listened, sketching absently, fists morphing into birds, breaking free. "You're brave," he said softly, tracing Alex's hand. "Braver than me. I'd have frozen." "No," Alex protested, heart swelling. "You make me brave." Their foreheads touched, a promise unspoken. But as Jamie left with a stolen kiss on the knuckles, Alex's phone lit up. An anonymous text, a photo of him and Jamie at the pier, captioned "Freak show ends soon." His blood ran cold. The attackers knew him. And now, the real storm was just beginning. The days blurred into a tense rhythm. Elias pushed the case forward, his calls to the DA yielding warrants for security footage, but progress crawled. Alex threw himself into school, into Jamie's arms during stolen lunch hours in the art room, where they painted murals of defiant colors, rainbows bleeding into storms. Riley organized a GSA meeting, turning it into a vigil for hate crime victims, her speech a rallying cry that drew tears and nods. "We're not victims," she declared. "We're the revolution." Yet prejudice lingered like fog. In history class, Mr. Vance droned on about civil rights. But when a student quipped, "What about the gays? They just want special treatment," the room tittered, and Alex's hand shot up before he could stop it. "It's not special. It's equal. And when cops laugh off assaults, that's the real crime." But power felt illusory when, one night, Alex spotted the snake-tattooed guy at a bus stop near school, eyes locking for a heartbeat before the man vanished into the crowd. Heart pounding, Alex texted Elias, who arrived like a shadow, scanning the street. "We'll get him," he vowed. But his voice held a weariness Alex hadn't noticed before, the toll of years judging cases where justice bent but rarely broke. At home, tension simmered. Lena, a nurse with shifts that left her hollow-eyed, started attending Elias's strategy sessions, her questions sharp. "Why mock a kid? Isn't that against policy?" Elias's answers were measured, laced with stories from his bench days, cases dismissed on technicalities, victims gaslit into silence. "The system's flawed, Lena, but we chip away." Alex listened from the stairs, piecing together his uncle's hidden layers. The widower who'd never remarried, rumors of a lost love in law school, a man who'd channeled heartbreak into robes of authority. "You ever face this?" Alex asked one evening, over takeout Chinese. Elias paused, chopsticks midway. "Once, long ago, taught me silence isn't neutral, it's complicity." That confession cracked something open, a bridge between nephew and mentor. Alex shared his fears about Jamie, the anonymous threat hanging like a guillotine. Elias nodded, eyes distant. "Love's the risk worth taking. Fought for mine, lost it to fear. Don't lose yours to theirs." Emboldened, Alex planned a surprise for Jamie. A picnic by the lake, blankets and his mom's brownies, under a sky bruised purple. They talked for hours, dreams of art school in New York, escaping Chicago's grit for canvases wide as horizons. Jamie's hand in his felt like defiance, their laughter a ward against the dark. But as stars pricked the sky, Alex's phone buzzed. Another text, this one a video clip of the alley attack, shaky cam from a phone. "Tell your judge uncle to back off, or next time it's your boyfriend." Terror coiled tight. Jamie paled, grabbing the phone. "We go to the cops. Now." "No," Alex whispered, pulling him close. "Not yet. They'll twist it." Instead, they vowed vigilance, Jamie sketching a portrait of the attacker from Alex's description, details sharpening like a blade. In that moment, love wasn't soft. It was armor, forged in shared resolve. The anonymous threats escalated like a heartbeat quickening toward arrhythmia, each ping a jolt through Alex's days. He deleted them at first, screenshotting for Elias, but sleep evaded him, nightmares replaying the alley in vivid loops. Fists, slurs, the glint of a knife never drawn but implied. Jamie stayed over twice, their nights spent in whispered plans and tentative touches, fingers interlaced, heads on the same pillow, building a fortress of us against the encroaching them. Elias ramped up his involvement, leveraging old contacts for a discreet tale on the bus stop suspect, a name emerging, Derek Voss, 21, history of bar fights and a suspended sentence for vandalism. "He's connected to a local crew," Elias explained over breakfast, maps spread like battle plans. "Fringe group, anti-everything. This isn't random, it's targeted." Targeted. The word landed like a stone in Alex's gut. He flashed back to the coffee shop weeks ago, he and Jamie laughing too loud, a table of guys nearby shooting glances, Derek among them. Nursing a beer, eyes lingering too long. Had a casual brush of hands under the table doomed them? Lena, overhearing, slammed her mug down. "Targeted or not, they don't touch my boy. We're pressing charges, full force." School became a pressure cooker. Rumors swirled, Harper's stirring drama again, whispered in locker rooms, amplified by social media posts from faceless accounts. Gays crying wolf for clout. Riley countered with flyers for a unity rally, her energy a whirlwind. But even she faltered one afternoon in the GSA room, voice breaking. "My little brother asked why I dressed like a girl last night. Dad's feeding him lines. How do we fight that?" Theo, usually the joker with quips sharp as darts, hugged her tight. "One heart at a time. Start with yours." Alex watched, envy twisting, his own family fractured, love conditional. Jamie noticed, pulling him aside after. "You're not alone in this mess," he said, eyes earnest. "My folks, They threw a party when I came out. But I see you carrying it all. Let me help carry. That vulnerability cracked Alex open, tears hot on his cheeks. I don't want to drag you down, he admitted. What if they go after you next? Jamie cupped his face, thumbs brushing away salt. Then we fall together. Or rise. Your choice. Their bond deepened in those fragile hours, conversations veering from fears to futures. Jamie's dream of illustrating graphic novels about queer heroes, Alex's quiet wish to study law like Elias, turning pain into precedent. They volunteered at the rally, handing out water under banners reading, "Love wins, hate loses, voices hoarse from chants." A news van rolled up, capturing Riley's mic drop. Silence is the real violence. We're done whispering. But victory soured when, post-rally, Alex found his locker vandalized, fake inside, marker bleeding like wounds. The principal, a kindly woman with gray streaks, called him in, her office smelling of lemon polish and regret. "Bullying's unacceptable, Alex. We'll investigate." But her eyes darted, tone hedging. "Just keep a low profile." Low profile. As if erasure was the cure. Alex stormed out, colliding with Jamie in the hall. "They want us invisible," he fumed. Jamie nodded, fierce. "Then we shine brighter." Elias's lead panned out midweek. Derek Voss picked up for questioning, his alibi crumbling under cross-exam. At the station, same precinct, different vibe now, with Elias's shadow looming. Alex faced him through glass, the man's defiance cracking into sullen glares. "Didn't mean no harm," Derek muttered to detectives. "Just messing." He looked. Asking for it. Asking for it. The phrase ignited something primal in Alex, fists clenching as Elias laid a steadying hand on his shoulder. "That's the lie they tell themselves," his uncle murmured. "To sleep at night." The interrogation yielded names, 2 accomplices, brothers with rap sheets for harassment. Charges filed, assault, hate crime enhancement. Justice, inching forward. But twists lurked in the shadows. Jamie's phone hacked overnight, private sketches, intimate portraits of Alex, eyes closed in repose, leaked to a group chat, whispers turning to outright jeers in class. "Porn for pervs," someone snickered. Jamie deleted the account, face ashen, but the damage festered. "I feel exposed," he confessed that night, curled on Alex's bed. "Like our safe space got raided." Alex held him, rage simmering. "We'll rebuild. Stronger." They reported it as cyberbullying, Elias connecting them to a specialist, but the emotional toll mounted, trust frayed, intimacy tentative. Riley suggested therapy group at the center, a circle of faces scarred by similar scars, a lesbian couple navigating church shunning, a bi guy rebuilding after outing gone wrong. Stories overlapped like veins, pulsing with resilience. "Hate wants isolation," the facilitator said. "We choose connection." Connection pulled Alex toward unexpected alliances. Theo, outed by a careless ex, shared playlists of anthems, hosier tracks that wove ache into anthem. One evening, over pizza in the park, Theo admitted, "I envy your uncle. Mine disowned me. Said I was confusion incarnate." Laughter bitter, but eyes met in understanding. Friendships weren't linear, they zigzagged, mending breaks. Lena's arc unfolded quietly. She joined a PFLAG chapter, her first meeting a tear-streaked confession. "I worry I'll lose him like I lost his dad," to fear. Returning home, she baked Alex's favorite, lemon bars dusted with sugar, and sat him down. "I'm learning, baby." Protests, calls to councilmen. "We're in this." Her hug lingered, fierce, a mother's love evolving from protection to partnership. Yet conflict crested when Elias uncovered a bombshell. Derek's crew tied to a cop's son, the buzz-cut officer from that first night. Nepotism's ugly underbelly, reports buried, evidence misplaced. Elias's face hardened over dinner, fork paused. Corruption, the kind that rots from within. He debated recusing himself, but Alex begged, "Fight it. For all of us." The decision galvanized them. Elias filed motions for oversight, his old firm volunteering pro bono. Protests swelled outside City Hall, Alex and Jamie at the front, signs reading "Justice for all colors." Media swarmed, a local anchor interviewing Alex. "What message for other kids?" He swallowed, camera hot on his skin. "You're not alone. Speak. We'll amplify." But amplification brought peril. That night, tires slashed on Elias's car, a note tucked under wiper, back OFF, judge. Fear rippled through the house. Lena installing cameras. Alex sleeping with a bat by his bed. Jamie insisted on staying. Their vigil a blend of board games and what-ifs. Laughter forced but real. If we make it, Jamie whispered, we tattoo something stupid. Like survived Chicago. Dawn brought a raid. SWAT at the accomplice's door. Arrests live on news feeds. Derek flipped, naming the cop's son as ringleader. The precinct chief resigned amid scandal. Buzz cut suspended pending review. Elias's courtroom return loomed, not as judge but witness, his testimony a scalpel dissecting bias. In the quiet after, Alex walked the lakefront alone, waves lapping like confessions. Gratitude warred with grief, for the boy he'd been, silenced, for the loves yet to bloom, unscarred. Jamie found him there, sketchpad in hand. Drew us, he said, flipping pages. Two figures entwined, backs to a storm, faces towards sun. The after. Alex traced the lines, heart full. The during matters too. Their kiss was salt-kissed, fierce with survival, a vow amid the vastness. Vindication arrived not with fanfare, but a gavel's echo in a courtroom humming with restrained energy. Elias testified first, his voice a measured cadence, detailing the precinct's initial dismissal, logs showing the sergeant's napkin doodles digitized as evidence, laughter transcribed from body cams. This wasn't oversight, he concluded, eyes sweeping the bench. It was prejudice weaponized. The judge, a woman with sharp features and sharper questions, nodded, her rulings clipping defense objections like overgrown thorns. Alex took the stand next, heart hammering as flashbulbs popped beyond the bar. He recounted the alley in halting detail, the shove's force, slur's venom, the moment he'd realized running meant living to fight. I reported because I had to, he said, voice gaining steel. Not just for me, but for every kid who walks home scared. The gallery murmured, a mix of supporters, Riley waving a discreet rainbow flag, and skeptics, arms crossed like barriers. Cross-examination was a gauntlet. The defense attorney, slick-suited and silver-tongued, leaned in. Mr. Harper, isn't it possible this was a misunderstanding? A prank gone awry? Alex met his gaze, unflinching. Pranks don't leave bruises. Or threats. Or make you question if love's a crime. Gasps rippled. The attorney faltered, retreating to notes. Jamie's turn came softly, his sketches projected as exhibits, the attacker's face rendered with unflinching accuracy. Art remembers what fear blurs, he said simply, and the room leaned in, as if truth could be drawn in charcoal strokes. Riley and Theo flanked him outside recesses, their presence a chorus. You slayed. Theo quipped, high-fiving. Riley added, now ice cream. Warrior fuel. But beneath triumph simmered undercurrents. Derek Voss, in orange jumpsuit, avoided Alex's eyes during his plea. Coerced testimony painting him as reluctant pawn, but the snake tattoo mocked mercy. The cop's son, a lanky 19-year-old named Kyle with his father's jawline, sneered from the dock, bunch of snowflakes. His words hung, but the evidence mounted, texts plotting the lesson, leaked photos tying him to the threats. Verdicts dropped like stones in still water. Guilty on all counts, sentences stacking, assault 5 years, hate enhancement adding 2, civil suits looming for the department. Cheers erupted from the back, Lena's sob breaking free as she clutched Alex. It's over, she whispered. Elias, loosening his tie, pulled them into a huddle. First win, not the last. Over felt illusory. Media frenzy followed. Interviews, op-eds hailing Alex as the teen who toppled bias. School principal called an assembly, her speech on inclusion ringing hollow after months of low-profile pleas. Classmates approached tentatively, apologies mumbled, invitations extended. One, a quiet girl named Mia who'd shared the history class laugh, slipped him a note. Sorry. Learning. Small fissures, widening to light. Jamie's leaked scars lingered, though. An art teacher, spotting his distraction, pulled him aside. Channel it. Exhibit. The show, Shadows to Light, filled the gym with queer visions, portraits of Alex mid-laugh, Riley's silhouette against dawn, Theo's abstract swirls of identity. Opening night drew crowds, parents included. Jamie's mom gushed, proud doesn't cover it. But a heckler lurked, Kyle's uncle, muttering slurs until security escorted him out. Jamie trembled post-event, Alex rubbing his back. Art is armor, he murmured. Wearing it suits you. Family revelations unfolded in the afterglow. Elias invited Alex to his lakeside home for a weekend. The drive north a tapestry of autumn leaves. Over scotch, Alex's virgin version with soda. Elias unspooled his past. Law school love. A man named Marcus, stolen weekends ending in a career ultimatum. I chose the bench over us, he confessed, voice gravel. Regrets a cold bedfellow. Alex listened, piecing the stoic uncle into human mosaic. You chose to fight, though? For others. Elias's smile was wry. And now for you. Full circle. Lena's growth mirrored it. Flag evolved her into advocate, co-hosting workshops at the center. One night, she brought home a colleague, Sam, a soft-spoken pediatrician with a daughter's coming-out story. Dinner chatter flowed easy, laughter filling voids. Alex watched, hopeful. Jamie texted approval, mom radar pinging positive. But when Sam left, Lena's eyes missed it. It's scary, starting over. But you showed me courage is contagious. Friendships branched unexpectedly. Theo's crush on a barista sparked group double dates. Coffee runs turning confessional. They misgendered me once. Theo shared over lattes. Laughed it off, but inside. Shredded. Riley nodded, adding her layer. Hormones helped, but acceptance? That's the real transition. Alex absorbed, his own journey refracted through theirs, a prism of pains and joys. Conflict reignited subtly, an internal affairs probe into buzz cut, leaks suggesting cover-up. Elias consulted, his advice quoted in papers, reform or reckon. Protests reignited, smaller now, focused, demands for bias training, queer liaisons in precincts. Alex spoke at one, voice amplified by megaphone. Mockery isn't protocol, it's poison. Jamie filmed, editing into a viral clip, views climbing like hope. But personal storms brewed. Jamie's parents, supportive yet sheltered, hosted a dinner, well-meaning questions veering clueless. So, when did you know? Jamie tensed, fork-scraping plate. Alex jumped in, when I met him. Laughter eased, but later, in the guest room, Jamie vented. They mean well, but it's erasure. Like our story starts at gay. Alex nodded, tracing constellations on his palm. We'll write the full version. Together. A twist arrived via mail. Kyle's appeal, claiming entrapment, dredging Alex's social media. Old posts from before coming out, innocuous now twisted. Panic flared. Elias shredded it legally, but doubt seeded. Am I bait? Alex wondered aloud to Riley during a park run, breath sinking. Or just lucky? She halted, hands on knees. Neither. You're catalyst. Change doesn't come quiet. The appeal crumbled in hearings, judge dismissing it as desperation's delusion. Relief washed, but Alex sought therapy solo. Sessions unpacking the alley's echo, the precinct's betrayal. Anger's valid. The counselor said, a non-binary therapist with sleeve tattoos of vines. But forgiveness? That's for you, not them. Alex journaled it out, pages filling with raw pleas, evolving to resolve. Winter crept in, snow blanketing Chicago in hush. Holiday lights twinkled defiant against gray, Alex and Jamie stringing them on the fire escape, tiny beacons. Elias hosted Christmas, table groaning with turkey and tamales, Lena's new bow fitting seamless. Toasts rang, to resilience, to rainbows and slush. Theo gifted silly socks, Riley a playlist of empowerment anthems. Amid wrapping paper chaos, Alex caught Elias's eye, a nod profound. New Year's Eve, they watched fireworks from the roof, Jamie's head on Alex's shoulder. Resolutions? Jamie asked. Alex thought, then, more us. Less fear. Fireworks bloomed, mirroring heartbursts. Spring thawed secrets. Derek, from prison, sent a letter, apology scrawled shaky. Saw my reflection in the mirror. Hated it. Sorry doesn't fix, but it start. Alex read it aloud to the group. Debates raging. Burn it or believe. People change, Jamie urged. Like we did. They framed it, not as absolution, but evidence, growth's possibility. Graduation loomed, caps, and gowns a milestone. Alex's speech, valedictorian nod, wove personal to universal. We report not despite scars, but because of them. Love demands it. Cheers thundered, Jamie's whoop loudest. Yet climax brewed in subtlety. Buzz cuts trial, perjury charges. Alex testified again, words honed. Your laugh echoed longer than their fists. Conviction stuck, badge stripped. Justice iterative. In quiet moments, Alex and Jamie planned escapes, summer road trip, playlists, and packed lunches. Stops at diners with pie, motels with neon glows. One night, under Midwest stars, Jamie proposed art school tandem. Partners in crime, the good kind. Alex laughed, yes on lips. Twists lingered. Mia, the apologizer, came out by, crediting Alex's stand. Friendships webbed wider, a chosen family fractal. Elias retired fully, hinting at memoir. Stories like yours, immortalized. Lena and Sam formalized, rings exchanged in backyard ceremony. Alex best man, beaming. Through it, love anchored. Alex and Jamie's first, I love you,'s whispered post-trial, hands clasped in courthouse hall. Simple, seismic. Summer unfurled like a long exhale, Chicago's heat wave mirroring the slow burn of healing. Alex and Jamie's road trip kicked off with a rattling old Civic borrowed from Elias, trunk stuffed with snacks, sketch pads, and a tent for impromptu campsites. First stop, Indiana dunes, sand hot underfoot, Lake Michigan's expanse a mirror to skies unmarred. They swam till pruned, Jamie splashing like a kid, Alex's laughter free for the first time in months. Evenings by fire pits wove deeper threads. Jamie confessed art block fears. What if inspiration dries up? Alex countering with, then we drought together. They hiked trails, pausing for sketches. Alex's profile against wildflowers, Jamie's fingers smudged with graphite. One dusk, atop a dune, Jamie pulled a small box, not ring, but matching pendants, silver waves etched. For the currents we ride. Alex fastened his, throat tight, their embrace salt and sunset. Back home, realities reasserted. College apps loomed. Alex eyed Northwestern pre-law, Jamie RSD for illustration. Essays poured out. Alex's on resilience, quoting Elias. Justice is verb, not noun. Acceptance letters arrived in tandem, celebrations with rooftop pizza, Riley toasting. To conquering worlds, ours first. But undercurrents stirred. Theo's family rift deepened. Dad's ultimatum. Choose normalcy or street. Theo chose self, crashing at Riley's till a shared apartment materialized, funded by part-time gigs. Alex helped move boxes, muscles aching, heart fuller. Your family, he said, bumping shoulders. Theo grinned, teary. Dysfunctional, fabulous addition. Riley's arc twisted poignant. Top surgery funded via GoFundMe. Community rallying with auctions of her poetry zines. Pre-op jitters hit hard. Group sleepover ensued. Face masks and bad movies. Scared it'll change me, she admitted. Jamie sketched her strength, fists to wings. It reveals you, Alex added. Post-op, scars pink and proud. She emerged radiant, hugs collective. Lena and Sam's wedding planning infused joy laced with nerves. Venue hunts turned comedic, rain-soaked tours, cake tastings devolving to food fights. Alex walked Lena down the aisle in her mind's eye, but reality shifted. Elias offered arm, a brotherly bond reforged. Rehearsal dinner toasts unearthed laughs. Sam's quip on trading shifts for heart shifts. Vows exchanged under oaks. Alex's speech simple. Love's not found, it's fought for. Rings glinted, tears flowed. Elias's memoir brewed, chapters drafted in his study. Alex beta reading. Revelations surfaced. Marcus, the lost love, alive in Boston, a professor now. Wrote him. Elias shared, envelope sealed. Reply came weeks later, coffee invitation. Alex tagged along to the neutral cafe, witnessing awkward hellos bloom to stories swapped. Second acts. Elias murmured post-meet, eyes alight. Alex texted Jamie. Uncle's got game. School years and brought closures. Principal's assembly acknowledged the case. Bias training mandatory. Cynics scoffed, but Alex saw shifts. A counselor outing safe. GSA doubled in size. Mia joined. Her first meeting brave. I hid too long. Group swelled, voices harmonizing. Conflict crested in microdramas. Jamie's exhibit toured, acclaimed drawing a shady offer. Ghost illustrating for a homophobic author. Compromise or conviction? He agonized. Alex advocated no, your voice matters. Rejection sent, integrity intact. Alex's internship at Elias's old firm exposed underbelly. Pro bono queer cases stacked, resources thin. Late nights filing briefs, coffee-fueled, bonded him to a mentor. Queer lawyer Tara, tattoos peeking from cuffs. Systems marathon, she said. Pace yourself. Personal growth flowered. Alex's therapy evolved to group, sharing with survivors. A trans elder's civil rights tales, a by mom's custody wars. Patterns break when named. The circle affirmed. Journal entries shifted, from rage to reflection, sketches of futures penciled tentative. Fall semester launched whirlwind. Dorms for Alex, commute for Jamie, visits sinking weekends. First frat party invite tested waters. Alex went, Jamie in tow, dances awkward but affirming. A drunk pledge slurred. You guys cute, intent murky. They left laughing, but seed planted, allyship spectrum. Thanksgiving gathered kin. Lena's table extended to Theo, Riley. Even Elias's budding reconnection with Marcus, tentative handholds over pie. Stories cascaded. Riley's post-op adventures, Theo's barista romance budding. Laughter drowned old ghosts. Winter break, twisted fate. Anonymous email to Alex. Kyle's prison shank threat, smuggled out. Elias alerted feds, lockdown brief, but chilling. Jamie insisted joint self-defense class. Kicks and blocks, sweat-slick confidence. Not victims, instructor echoed. Survivors. Resolution came swift. Kyle isolated, privileges revoked. Letter followed, therapy mandated. Anger's my cage. Breaking it. Alex pondered forgiveness's weight, discussing with Jamie under holiday lights. Not absolution, Jamie said. Just release. New Year heralded expansions. Alex's column in school paper, Queer Chronicles, gained traction, essays on microaggressions, love's labors. Jamie illustrated, duo inseparable. Riley's zine went viral, Theo's playlist curated for Pride events. Spring break revisited dunes, tint shared, stars witnesses to deepened intimacies. Conversations till dawn, dreams aligned. NYC next. Jamie proposed. Alex nodded. Empire State queers. Graduation redux for seniors. Caps airborne, speeches soaring. Alex's alumni address. From alleys to podiums, we claim space. Jamie's gift. Bound sketchbook of their year, pages of progress. Summer internships. Alex at legal aid, Jamie at gallery. Evenings merged. Picnics, protests small scale. Elias's book deal signed, dedication. To Alex, spark of change. Climax personal, Jamie's proposal, not marriage, but commitment ceremony, friends officiating by lake. Vows handwritten. Through mocks and miracles, I choose you. Rings simple, bands etched with waves. Lena's honeymoon glow inspired Alex's family vision. Expansive, inclusive. Theo's coming out to siblings bridged rifts. Riley mentored a young trans kid, cycle turning. Twists resolved in grace. Buzzcut's community service at center, awkward amends over coffee. Grew up late, he grunted. Alex nodded. Better than never. Through arcs, love's core pulsed. Alex and Jamie's quiet anniversaries. Coffee dates evolving to life plans. We're the story now. Alex said one eve, city lights below. Jamie smiled. Best plot twist. College life hit like a freight train laced with freedom. Northwestern's campus a labyrinth of ivy and ambition where Alex navigated lectures on constitutional law by day, Jamie's weekend trains from RSD by night. Their rhythms synced in stolen overnights. Evanston motels with thin walls, laughter muffled into pillows, dreams dissected over diner fries. Miss your sketches on my fridge. Alex texted midweek, Jamie replying with a doodle, heart pierced by gavel. But independence bred frictions. Alex's study group included a straight ally, Ben, whose easy camaraderie sparked Jamie's twinge of jealousy during a video call. He's just intense, Alex explained, but the seed sprouted doubt. Jamie confessed over autumn leaves crunching underfoot during a campus visit. Insecure much? After everything. Alex pulled him close amid quad bustle. You're my constant. Ben's footnotes. Mirroring strains. Riley's freshman year at UChicago brought roommate woes. Cis girl micromanaging pronouns. Passive digs at labels. Riley vented in group chat. Theo countering from his barista grind. Boundaries, babe. Or boot her. Riley set terms. Peace tenuous but earned. Visits to Alex's dorm turned therapy. Board games. Bad puns. Theo's new boyfriend. A quiet poet. Adding layers. Elias's memoir launch packed a loop bookstore. Shelves groaning under gavel shadow. Readings drew crowds. Marcus in front row. Hand on Elias's knee post-chapter on lost loves. Alex emceed. Voice steady. Uncle taught me justice starts inward. Signings stretched late. Fans sharing stories. A teen's coming out echo. An elder's late bloom. Lena, beaming beside Sam, whispered, Your spark, kid. Book tour unearthed Elias's next chapter. Reconciliation with Marcus. Cohabitation tentative in the lakeside house. Weekend visits revealed domesticity's charm. Shared cooking. Arguments over crosswords. Love's redo. Elias quipped to Alex. Messier wiser. Lena's blended family expanded. Sam's daughter, Ellie, 14 and questioning, confided in Alex over holiday baking. Like bi? Or just me? Alex guided gently. Experiments okay. Labels optional. Ellie's hug was fierce, a niece's trust budding. Theo's romance flowered then faltered, poet ghosting post-fight. Heartbreak hit hard, bar shifts turned tear-streaked. Group intervention, ice cream raids, Riley's zine therapy. Rebound. Theo joked, eyes red. Nah, heal first. New crush emerged at Poetry Slam. Barista rival turned collaborator, sparks genuine. Jamie's gallery internship yielded solo show invite. Echoes of us, queer narratives in bold strokes. Opening night, Alex in ill-fitting blazer, mingled with critics. A piece, their Dune embrace, abstracted, drew gasps. Vulnerable, one murmured. Jamie, post-toast, pulled Alex to corner. Your muse status eternal. Kiss stolen, art's alchemy affirmed. Conflict crested academically for Alex. Debate club clash over marriage equality precedents. Opponent, a legacy kid, dismissing special rights. Alex's rebuttal scorched. Equality's not special, denial is. When bitter, post-debate drinks with Ben turning confessional. Grew up sheltered, Ben admitted. You opened eyes. Jamie, hearing recap, thawed. Allies evolve. Winter storms isolated, forcing virtual dates. Jamie screen sharing RISD chaos. Alex reciting case law like sonnets. Valentine's mishap. Snowed in train. Jamie arriving midnight with wilted roses. Laughter dissolved tension. Fort rebuilt. Spring break reunited the crew. Cabin rental in Wisconsin woods. Bonfires and boardwalks. Riley's girlfriend debuted. Fellow activist. Debates fiery. Theo's poet returned apologetic. Forgiveness tentative. Games unearthed truths. What scares you most? Riley, erasure. Theo, abandonment. Alex, losing Jamie to distance. Jamie, failing us. Vows renewed around fire. We got this. Elias's health scare. Routine check flagging arrhythmia. Rattled. Hospital vigil. Marcus steadfast. Alex holding vigil. Irony's a bitch. Elias joked from bed. Heart gave out on Love's watch. Clear scans brought relief. Lifestyle tweaks. Yoga with Marcus. Diets mocked over dinners. Lena's promotion to head nurse coincided with Sam's practice expansion. Family vacations planned. Beach trip, sunburns, and seashells. Ellie tagged along. Her crush on a lifeguard sparking Alex's mentorship. Consent's king. Jamie's show toured. Acclaim building portfolio. Doubt crept. Am I selling out? Alex countered. Authentics never out. Collaboration born. Alex's essays illustrated. Chapbook self-published. Summer bridged gaps. Alex clerking at legal aid. Jamie interning NYC. Long distance tested. Daily calls. Care packages of mixtapes. Visits synced. Central Park picnics. MoMA sketches. Proposal whispered under bridges. Postgrad. Co-op. Affirmative. Futures fused. Fall sophomore slump hit. Alex's ethics seminar dissecting bias cases, triggering Ally flashbacks. Therapy resumed, breakthroughs. Trauma's teacher, not tyrant. Group shared wins. Riley's surgery anniversary tattoo. Theo's poetry chapbook. Thanksgiving redux. Expanded table. Ellie's vegan stuffing triumph. Toast to growth. Elias on second chances. Lena on reinvention. Climax familial. Marcus's proposal to Elias. Garden party acceptance. Alex best man again. Speech weaving legacies. Love defies gavels. Twist benevolent. Kyle's release early for good behavior. Restitution check to center. Alex attended parole hearing remotely. Statement measured. Change evidenced. Monitor closely. Freedom's double edge. Jamie's thesis show loomed. Nerves frayed. Alex's surprise visit. Providence crash. Model building session. Team. Jamie breathed. Relief palpable. Crew dynamics evolved. Riley's engagement. Wedding planning chaotic. Theo's throuple exploration. Boundaries bold. Alex's column syndicated. Voice amplified nationally. Backlash trolls blocked. Supporters surged. Through ebbs, love steadied. Jamie's midterms care basket. Alex's debate when dedicated via video. Spring finale. Finals conquered. Prom skipped for house party. Dresses optional. Dances freeform. Riley's vows previewed. Tears and cheers. Summer capstone. Crew road trip redux. Routes reversed. Dunes encore. Pendants glinting. Chapter 2. Jamie toasted. Alex, us unbound. Junior year sharpened edges. Northwestern's rigor a forge for Alex's resolve. Law clinic placements thrusting him into real fights. Eviction defenses for queer families. Asylum pleas for persecuted lovers abroad. Late nights bled into dawns. Jamie's care packages. Energy bars scrawled with fuel for justice. Lifelines. Their visits ritualized. Amtrak reunions at Penn Station. NYC's pulse sinking heartbeats. Jamie's RISD immersion yielded breakthroughs. Thesis on queer cartographies. Maps of hidden histories inked bold. Critiques brutal, but Alex's post-show pep talk. Your lines lead. Ignited revisions. Collaboration deepened. Alex's op-eds paired with Jamie's visuals. Zine series Unmapped Loves selling out at Pride markets. Riley's wedding anchored summer. Lakeside affair. Alex officiating proxy. Vows echoed their own. In storms and stills, chosen. Theo's best woman role quipped through tears, his throuple thriving in poly poetry nights. Elias and Marcus's union formalized quietly. Courthouse elopement, reception potluck. Alex's toast, gavels down, hearts up. Travels beckoned. Italy honeymoon tales via postcards, vineyard sketches from Marcus. Lena's empty nest filled with advocacy, city council runs, queer elder programs. Sam's clinic hosted free days, Ellie volunteering, her art therapy group budding, inspired by Jamie. Theo's career pivoted, slam poetry circuit, gigs paying rent. Thruple's book deal on non-monogamy ethics, forward by Riley. Conflict intimate. Alex's clinic case, a trans teen's custody battle, mirrored Riley's past, burnout looming. Jamie sensed, weekend intervention, Providence escape, gallery hops and harbor walks. Pace with grace, Jamie urged, hands framing face. Vulnerability volleyed, Jamie's imposter syndrome in senior critiques. Mutual mending, bonds tempered. Fall foliage framed homecoming. Crew cabin redux, expansions. Ellie's first girlfriend, shy introductions. Games unearthed evolutions. Fears reframed. Riley's What If Kids, sparking dreams. Elias's book sequel announced. Beyond the Bench, co-authored with Marcus. Launch panel, Alex moderating. Love as Law's Compass. Winter Holidays hybrid. Zoom toasts, snowed in subsets. Jamie's family adopted Alex. Hanukkah lax. Traditions blended. Spring surge. Alex's moot court win. National spotlight. Interview circuit. Jamie styling promo shots. Power couple. Theo teased. Jamie's graduation loomed. Capstone defended flawlessly. Ceremony streamed. Alex's cheers loudest. Post-party. Rooftop. RISD conquered. World next. Summer merged paths. Alex's fellowship NYC. Co-op apartment hunt victorious. loft with lake views, easel by window. Unpacking dance to playlists, futures unpacked. Fall senior sink. Alex's thesis on hate crime reforms, citations weaving personal to policy. Jamie's freelance boomed, cover art for Queer Lit, panels on visibility. Crew milestones, Riley's baby announcement, Theo's tour dates. Thanksgiving feast, expansions noted, Ellie's college apps queer-focused. Climax Collective, National Conference on LGBTQ Rights, Alex keynoting, Jamie illustrating live. Standing ovation, hands clasped backstage, we did this. Twist Gentle, Kyle's center volunteer gig, amends awkward but earnest. Alex's nod, progress paces. Elias's retirement gala, roasts loving, Marcus's speech, partner in every plea. Jamie's proposal proper, rooftop under stars, knee bent, ring wave etched. Marry our story, Alex, tears, yes. All chapters. Wedding planning infused joy, small, lakeside, crew core. Vows vowed. Through crimes reported and hearts mended. Years blurred to epilogues. Alex's law grad, clerkship under progressive judge. Jamie's graphic novel debut, bestseller badge. Lena's council seat, reforms rippling. Riley's family grew, Theo's anthologies anthologized. Elias and Marcus mentored, memoirs multiplied. Anniversary dunes, pendants renewed, sketches of graying curls. Alex's reflection, journal closed, from mocked report to mended world, love's verdict, resounding. In quiet, Jamie's whisper, best hook ever. Alex smiled, endless plot,